Editing mistakes are pretty common in movies, so it should come as no surprise that they are even more common with YouTubers. Most YouTubers edit their own videos themselves, so sometimes mistakes just happen. But today guys, we're gonna take a look at 8 mistakes YouTubers forgot to edit out. Guys, let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes on this video. Make sure you hit that like button in the next 10 seconds. Or your toilet will explode. Alright, I know half of you guys are watching this video on the toilet as I speak. Trust me, you don't want your toilet to explode. And real quick, I just want to let you guys know that down in the comments, we put an Amazon gift card on every single video. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video, show some support for that. Subscribe and turn notifications on that we have a really good shot at being one of the first people to the video to get that Amazon gift card. You have to be subscribed with notifications on in order to win, so make sure you guys do that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. Jacksepticeye. Now I'm sure most of you guys know who Jacksepticeye is. He's a massive YouTuber, does a lot of gaming and Let's Plays and just different stuff like that. And his editing mistake wasn't really anything too crazy, wasn't really anything too serious. But basically what happened was Jacksepticeye was playing Undertale. He was doing like a Let's Play or a playthrough. And during this Let's Play, he had to use the bathroom. And of course, there's nothing wrong with using the bathroom. He had to go, you gotta go, you gotta go. He decided to go to the bathroom and he just completely forgot to edit that part out. So there's just like a few minutes of a blank screen while Jacksepticeye is in the bathroom. And then he comes back and everything's pretty much normal again. Like I said, it's a really simple mistake. He probably just, recorded for like hours or something and didn't actually think to go back and like, look through and make sure there's something he needed to cut out, and ended up leaving a few minutes of him just using the bathroom. Lance Stewart. Lance Stewart is a pretty popular daily vlogger here on YouTube, but he pretty recently had kind of like a series going on where he was doing paranormal videos on Ouija boards, demons, just all that kinds of stuff. And H3H3 actually made a video on Lance Stewart's paranormal videos called It's Time to Stop Lance Stewart, after they realized in one of his paranormal videos that he kind of had an editing mistake that showed that the whole paranormal thing was fake. So Lance, of course, was trying to convince his audience that all this stuff was real and he was either, being haunted by like ghosts or demons or whatever. And in this video, he decides to set up a camera and film himself overnight. And while he's sleeping, a demon drags him by his leg out of his bed. And it just looks really crazy and scary. But like I said, H3H3 made a video on this. And you can actually tell that they faked this because they had like a green screen set up. And when you look at like the nightstand that was next to his bed, there's a bottle of lotion there. And as Lance is being dragged out of the bed, this bottle of lotion is kind of cut in half. It's chopped up. So like the green screen wasn't lined up properly. It's really not that noticeable, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then once he's dragged all the way out of the bed, the bottle just kind of snaps back in place. H3H3 also pointed out that, as he was being dragged out of bed, it looked crazy, like he just floated out of bed by his leg, basically like some invisible thing was dragging him out. There's actually like a small little rope or something like that pulling his sock, and that's kind of, what pulled him out of bed. So again, these are pretty small mistakes, but they do show that Lance Stewart was actually, faking these paranormal videos. Nate's Life. Nate's Life is a pretty popular prank channel with about 1.5 million subscribers, and similar to Lance Stewart, he accidentally left something in a video that exposed himself for faking a prank. So I guess like him and his girlfriend have some kind of, like prank wars back and forth where they prank each other. She pranked him about something and then he was going to get revenge and prank her back. That was kind of the premise and the setup for his prank. But in the video, he had a part where he was asking her to come over and look at his laptop. I'm not exactly sure what the prank was supposed to be, but he called for her and said, hey, come over here and look at this. She starts to walk over, then he says, hold on, stop. Let's try that again. And he tells her to go back into the bathroom and then calls her out again. So it was clear that they were setting this up. They were staging this and, they were faking this prank. Like I said, obviously he didn't mean to leave this in the video. I think he did end up taking it down, cutting that part out, and then re-uploading it. But of course, people downloaded that, and the clips are around, and you can clearly see that he accidentally showed that he was setting up that prank. Rice Gum. Now this one is a pretty interesting one. I'm gonna need you guys' opinion on this one just to help me, figure out what's going on here. So recently, I was watching one of Rice Gum's videos. It's from a couple months ago. It was on the Dolan twins, where I guess the Dolan twins kind of roasted him. He was making a video reacting to that. So at the beginning of the video, he's watching the Dolan twins talk about him. He's reacting to it. If you pay attention to Rice Gum's eyes at the beginning of this Dolan twins video, you can see they're perfectly clear. They look normal. They're white. Nothing looks, crazy or anything like that. So after talking about the Dolan twins, he decides, he needs to go out and do something positive, something nice. So he goes and he makes it rain on homeless people. And then he comes back and he films the end of the video. But when he comes back, for some reason, his eyes they're kind of low. They look kind of red. And I'm really not sure what's going on here. Like, it looks kind of weird. I don't know if maybe his allergies are acting up or something, because his eyes just got really red out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure he didn't intend for his eyes to look like that in the video. I just don't really understand what's going on. So I mean, if you guys could let me know down in the comments, what do you think's going on with Rice Gum's eyes? Like, why are they so red at this part of the video? I'm sure he didn't mean for that to happen. So I mean, in my opinion, that's kind of an editing mistake. PewDiePie. Now this is a classic editing mistake right here. Some of you guys may have already heard about this one because it was a pretty popular editing mistake. And of course, PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber on the platform. So like I said, some of you guys might already know about this one, but this is from like 4 or 5 years ago. It is a very old video from PewDiePie. He was actually doing like a playthrough or a Let's Play on The Walking Dead, and while he was playing, for some reason he accidentally shows his browser history. And in his browser history, it has some very interesting stuff. Of course, I'm not going to talk about exactly what it is because I like my videos to be monetized. We don't need to talk about that stuff here, but I'll throw it up on the screen and you guys could take a look and see what PewDiePie accidentally showed everyone in this video. T Martin. Now, to be honest with you guys, I can't remember if this was from an actual video or if T Martin was live streaming. I think it makes more sense if he was live streaming and this happened, but basically, I'm sure a lot of you guys know about the whole CSGO Lotto situation that went down last year. If you don't know, I'll try to explain it pretty quickly. Basically, T Martin and Pro Syndicate were kind of, like promoting or really just, making videos using this gambling website where you could bet CSGO skins, do coin flips and stuff like that. And it ended up coming out that they actually own that website. So of course, there's kind of like a conflict of interest there if you own the website and then you're using it and you're making videos, titled like, oh, I won $10,000 on this website. It's a little bit shady, and I don't think they actually got in trouble with like the FCC and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they were fine. That was in the news recently. But the editing mistake that I was talking about surrounding the situation was, like I said, I think T Martin was live streaming this. He was playing on the website with his friend Brock. They were doing what you do, coin flips, stuff like that. And T Martin wins. He goes to do like a trade offer so he can trade these skins that he won into his account, and he's accidentally signed into like one of the CSGO bot accounts. So the way these sites work, you have like bot accounts that are set up, and those are the ones that get your skins. You request a trade and a bot account sends you a trade offer. T Martin was accidentally signed into one of these bot accounts, and of course, you wouldn't be able to do that unless you own the site or you're a part of the site, and it just looked really shady, and you could kind of see on his face when it happened that he looked a little bit nervous that slipped, and there was pretty much nothing he could do about it. Like I said, that's why I think it was a live stream and not a video, because if it was a video, he would have just cut that out and it wouldn't have been a big deal. So I think this happened during a live stream, but still, like I said, you could kind of see on T Martin's face that he knew he screwed up a little bit there. FaZe Rug. Now, this was another pretty big story that happened between FaZe Rug and his brother, but I'll break it down just in case you guys aren't aware of it because it is a little bit old now. Basically what happened was FaZe Rug was vlogging, and in one part during this vlog, FaZe Rug walks into his brother's room, and his brother and his brother's girlfriend were laying in the bed, and he ended up accidentally getting like an inappropriate shot of his brother's girlfriend. So when the video went live, FaZe Rug's brother was kind of upset about it because he saw it and he was like, I want you to take this video down. FaZe Rug didn't want to take it down because, the video was doing really well. He wanted to just try to cut out that part of the video and keep it up because YouTube has like an editing program. After it's uploaded, you can blur or cut parts out. But when you do that, the process takes, 4 or 5 hours. It can take a long time just depending on, how big of an edit it is. And this ended up causing a pretty big fight between FaZe Rug and his brother. That's what caused the drama. But basically, the editing mistake was accidentally getting an inappropriate shot of his brother's girlfriend, Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul has been in the news all summer for tons of different things, and I've actually got 2 different editing mistakes from Jake Paul to finish off this video. The first one is something that really could have got Jake Paul into some serious trouble. So I'm sure you guys know about the neighbor situation that went down with Jake Paul over the summer. His neighbors were threatening to sue him for being like a public nuisance. Fans always outside of his house. He was always loud. He was kind of, destructive and stuff, lighting big fires, riding his dirt bike around, and, just being really loud and disrespectful, basically. So his neighbors were threatening to sue him. It was a big thing. It was on the news, and Jake Paul decided to, go and apologize to these neighbors. I guess he felt bad. He wanted to say sorry, but instead of going over and having like an actual conversation with them, he decides to bring the camera along with him, and he actually secretly records his neighbors, which is illegal in California. Now, although Jake Paul did this on purpose, it obviously wasn't like an editing mistake. It is still a pretty big mistake because, like I said, it's illegal, and I'm sure if Jake Paul knew that, he wouldn't have done that, and his neighbors ended up getting pretty upset about this, and it definitely could have got Jake Paul in a lot of trouble. I haven't heard anything about it since, so I think he's in the clear. I don't think he's gonna be in trouble for this, but it was definitely a really big mistake. And then we have the situation with Post Malone. This was another pretty big story that you guys might have heard about. Basically, Post Malone is a rapper. He's really good friends with Ethan from H3H3, and kind of as a joke, Post Malone decided to order some of Jake Paul's merch. He put a picture of it up on Twitter that he ordered it. Like I said, it was just kind of a joke, but Jake Paul took it kind of seriously. He decided to go hand deliver the merch that Post Malone bought to him. So he actually took his camera with him and he went to Post Malone's house and he vlogged the whole thing. And of course, Post Malone had no idea about this. Jake Paul just shows up at his door. Post Malone does give Jake Paul permission to film, but I think Post Malone was under the assumption that Jake Paul was just vlogging, while there was actually a guy in Jake Paul's car filming the outside of Post Malone's house. This was a huge editing mistake because it ended up showing where Post Malone lives. It showed his cars. You could see like a mailbox, license plates, stuff like that. So I mean, he essentially doxed Post Malone and showed where Post Malone lives. It is a huge mistake, and Jake Paul actually went back and blurred out that part of the video after H3H3 made a video on it. It was definitely a really big mistake, and I'm sure Post Malone was not happy about that. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn those notifications on. And let me know down in the comments if there's any editing mistakes that I missed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's been Extracted. We'll catch you guys later. Peace out.